Kia ora, family and friends, again, it's me. Woohoo! Third video. I'll just set my timer. Hang on, setting it now. Oh, sorry. Alright, so we are going to be talking 6 minutes. You see? Yeah. Okay, righto. So when that goes off, you know the end of the video. So we were talking about, I'm just doing a recap, we were talking about the Galilean wedding, and we hadn't quite got through the full process of the Galilean wedding last video we were watching. And the reason why the Galilean wedding is quite important is the fact that Jesus was Galilean, his disciples are Galilean. So I'll just quickly recap. So when a bride and a groom in the Hebrew Galilean people get married, first thing that happens is they meet husband and, well, not husband and wife, this two singles meet at the gates of the town, and all the community comes and gathers around and witnesses them sharing vows to one another, promising one another to each other. And then he offers her a cup of wine. She drinks from the wine. If she chooses to, she can actually reject the wine and say no, which basically means the wedding is off, it's not going to go ahead. And then the next thing, they go off and they prepare. They're not actually married. He goes off and prepares a place for his new bride on his father's house. She goes off and prepares her bridesmaids and the wedding dress and all these other lovely frilly things, flowers and stuff and what have you, for the big day, which nobody actually knows except the Father. The Father is the only one who knows when the wedding will actually be consummated and take place. So we got up to the place where the Father said to his Son, "Go now and get your bride." And he's all woohoo, he's excited, yay, I'm going to go and get my bride, yay, I've been hanging out to get married, for a year or however long it's taken to prepare. And so he's very excited, and it happens to be midnight, which is a common time that the Father actually gets up and says, "Okay, son, go and get your bride." And so he rises up, he gets his chauffeur, which is a ram's horn, and he's excited. He's going to go to his bride's house and take her home to be his wife. So he's excited, he gets his chauffeur and he's whoop-whoop blowing it, and in the middle of the night when people are asleep and he's blowing the whoop-whoop chauffeur, people wake up, they hear the chauffeur, they can decide whether they're going to follow the chauffeur to the big wedding which they know is going to take place or not. And so there's another portion in the Bible where it talks about 10 virgins, but we haven't got to that yet. So he's going through the street blowing his chauffeur, "I'm going to get my bride, I'm excited, woohoo!" And then he approaches her home where she happens to be living with her parents. She is ready. She is ready at midnight to get married to his bride, to his groom, to her groom, his whatever, And so he is there, she is there, they gaze at each other, they're in love, and they're going to become husband and wife. Now, one of the very interesting things that happens in this final portion of the wedding ceremony that's already been ongoing for about a year or more is that his groomsmen, they do something peculiar. His groomsmen actually take a litter. A litter is like a platform with a chair on it. They take a litter, they go to the bridesmaid who is at her parents' house. They offer her the litter to sit upon, and so she sits upon the litter. The bride's grooms lift her up, and then the terminology is called fly. They fly her. They pick her. She doesn't walk to her husband, her newlywed's husband's house. she flies. They carry her on a litter to his house that he has been preparing. So when she's there, this is another very interesting thing that happens. She's there, the community comes together, they hear they're getting married, they're all excited, people join, people choose to join, or people choose not to join. And those who do choose to join come and follow the litter with her on it and the bridegroom to his house that he has prepared for his bride. And then they get to the house, they go into the house, they enter into the house, all of the guests of the wedding, everyone who's coming to the wedding, they go into the house where his father's house and where he has been, the groom has been building the house, and then they shut the door. And the wedding ceremony behind that door goes on for 7 days. 7 days. No one is allowed in, no one is allowed out for 7 days. The consummation of the marriage happens like that. So I'm just going to draw parallels which are so blatant and amazing of what is going to happen at the return of Christ, at the return of Jesus. So fascinating based on the Gallilean wedding. First and foremost, a person makes vows. I promise, I accept, I receive. Oh, sorry, over. Midnight has struck again. There's another day of grace tomorrow because we're still here. Catch up with you next video.